Turn it up.
From the YBA Phenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rocklin, California, it's Coach's Rize Time with Coach C.Collins.
It's start. 3, 2, 1.
Coach's Rize Time.
Hey, it's Coach C.Collins talking from Coach's Rize Time. If you are here and you're tuning in, of course, I always appreciate do the HBO special, help a brother out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, do what you got to do. Shout out to the Poor Man's Podcast because I definitely took that from him. But, no, I appreciate you guys if you've been supporting. I haven't done a Coach's Rize Time in quite a while. I've just been doing a lot About That Life episodes, and I have more coming up. So please stay tuned for those. But, again, the subject matter of this one, I just simply want to say AAU basketball, where it sits in 2024. I want to talk about maybe some of the good, some of the bad, some of the things I've observed, the high school side, of course, which is the most important, and maybe some of the issues that some people have, some of the things that they've talked about, some of the things I might have issues with, and hopefully tips and things that can help future AAU directors and people trying to make a way for themselves. So, again, I hope you enjoy the episode. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope it helps you better your journey in this AAU space of ours, this AAU basketball space of ours. So let's get right to it. First thing in 2024, we got to talk about parents. Parents has got to be the number one subject. There's so many layers to it. I can only get through so much. Otherwise, this episode would be about 2.5 hours. So we're not going to go that long. But the biggest thing we could talk about when it comes to parents is you have basically 3 to maybe 5 categories of parents. One parent you have is, the athlete parent, the parent that played some level of sports, typically, hopefully college or pro, and they kind of just stay out your way and let you do your job for the most part because they understand what it takes. Most AAU people enjoy those type of parents. But they are sometimes very critical of you as a coach because they want to see their kids pushed in the right direction. 2, you have helicopter parents, parents that do too damn much. Like, they got to be overbearing on everything. They got to know everything. Like, these are the parents that are in training sessions telling trainers how to fucking train their kid. Like, you hired me to do my job. Let me do my job, right? We all know helicopter parents. We've seen them. Number 3 would be I call them delusional parents, right? I guess you could say a subcategory of a helicopter parent. They see their kid miss 10 layups and tell them, that's okay, you did really good. No, they fucking didn't. They missed 10 layups. That's 20 potential points. You did not do good if you miss 10 fucking layups unless you are 8 years old, okay? Like, no, if you are 17 years old, missing 10 to 20 layups, turning the ball over 4 times and getting 3 fouls, and that's your fucking stat line at the end of the game, you did not do good. But, unfortunately, mom and dad sometimes have those parent goggles and think, well, it's not his fault that, his fucking got baby hands and can't catch the ball. No, it's your fucking fault. It's your fucking fault. It's your genetics. Blame you. You're right. Your kid has no genetics and has little baby fucking hands because you have little baby fucking hands, okay? So that's that category of parents. Number 4, right, is I call them at game parents. The parents, like, overall they're cool, but when they go to a game, they're fucking nuts. They are the parent at the baseline yelling at their kid. Typically it's a mom holding a goddamn cell phone the entire game, recording the kid and yelling at the ref and yelling at the opposing kid and then yelling at their kid. It's usually shoot the ball, don't pass that shit, like, whatever. It's generally speaking a mom. Don't get me wrong, it's dads too. And they don't even get a tripod. They just hold the phone and they just roam around the fucking court. Like, they'll get next to I've had one of those parents get next to my bench and start recording. And I'm like, yeah, hey, lady, can you go, like, to your side of the court, please? Like, that's how crazy that category of parents is. And of course, there's more and more and more. I'm sure you guys have dealt with plenty, but that's at least 4 that I know and think of off the top of my head. Also, AAU in 2024, there is absolutely no loyalty anymore. So coaches, trainers, I'm sorry, that shit is dead at this point. It is 100% fucking dead. If there is a free program, a program that will cover all costs, typically a shoe sponsor program, you're going to lose your kid. It's just gonna happen. And you know, even some of your mom and pop programs, the programs adjacent to you, they'll, you know, they finesse money somehow. Maybe they got a rich parent. Maybe they got a parent that's just looking to do a tax write-off. Maybe they got a kid on the team and they don't mind paying for all the shit. Yeah, they're going to use that to finesse talented kids away from you, and parents are quick to oblige and jump on it. Do I agree with it? No. I think it's stupid. If you have a coach that has helped your kid get from A to X, why the fuck would you leave them when they can get you to WYZ, right? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I don't fucking understand it, but that's the culture, right? And it's something you just learn to accept. It's not every single kid, but I will say the kids that rock with you that are loyal and the parents that rock with you are loyal or have become the minority now. They are not the majority. They used to be the majority years ago, where they would stick with you, they would rock with you, they saw the best growth out of their kid with you. Now it's just always peeking at the other fence. It's always looking somewhere else. It's always like, oh, what's better over there? What's better over there? And it's the same fucking thing. I reiterate this over and over again. I'll probably do an episode on talking about this itself. A system, it's just different ways to score the basketball. That's it. It's different ways to take the same shots. That's what a system is. If a system is working for your kid and they're getting the most and the best growth out of it, why change it? There's nothing more to change. But people will. People will inherently in this space think that there's always something more. There's always something they got to do. There's always something better. And they inevitably find out that they were wrong, you know. And it's unfortunately when it's too late. It's when the kid is trying out for JUCOs and can't even get on a JUCO team. And it's like, what happened? What happened to y'all? Well, you know, I got too good for the program I was at. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes a kid does outgrow a program. But if the program is fulfilling everything you need, putting you on the best stage, putting you against high competition, on a shoe circuit, has a facility. I'm naming basically everything we have here in my program, and you still decide to leave just because somebody says we'll give you a bunch of free gear and it's free, like it don't make sense to me. And I've talked to enough coaches, college coaches, high school coaches, like they don't get it. And majority of college coaches, even though they won't say it because they don't want to ruin their potential chances of recruiting kids, they judge your inability to be loyal unless they know they are a university where basically kids are going to spend 1 year there and then cut because of the transfer portal, right? Nepotism in AAU in 2024. It's big. It is what it is. Nepotism's a thing. Ex-pros, athletes, kids are going to get the nod before the unknown kid. If you're not related or a cousin to some level of pro athlete, whether it be football, shit, it could be soccer at this point. But if you don't have some sort of relation to an ex-pro athlete, it is another layer that you're going to have to fight through, especially if you're on the court with one of those ex-pro athletes' kids. But to me, that also, on the flip side of it, creates these opportunist windows where you can become famous or get some clout, because if you bust the ass or if you beat the dog shit out of one of those NBA kids, you know, one of those NBA players' kids, you now get thrusted on a stage that you might have been an unknown, and now you have, 50,000 followers and people are hyping you up to be the next greatest thing. So there is two sides to that coin, right? Is it fair? I don't really know. I don't really have a yes or no for that. I think it's just part of the game. And if it's unfair to you, get the fuck over it and get better. If you are one of those kids that get to take advantage. Why not? Shit. All right. Let me make this clear. I have kids. I have two sons. Their dad is co-owner of a gym and a director of an AAU program. So if my kids can basically get in the gym anytime they want, they can get shots up anytime they want, they can practice their game anytime they want. And I know that's an advantage that the majority of my basketball peers in competition don't have for their kids. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to give my sons the most advantage they can. get over it, get better. And that's exactly what I would tell my kids if they're running into a situation where they play a high-level kid. Elevate your game, step up. If he gets the better of you that day, get back in the gym and get better so you're ready for the next time you play him, right? So that would be my suggestion for any of you guys that are dealing with any of that. Stop worrying about how fair shit is. Sports itself is inherently not built to be fair. It's people taking advantages of their physical gifts, their abilities, their skill sets against other people's physical abilities and skill sets. That's just how it works. Also, a couple more things in AAU in 2024. The prices, I know, the admission prices are getting ridiculous. But inflation is a motherfucker in this country. What do you want to hear? It's not going away. It's not right. I mean, have you been to a grocery store? Have you seen how much a gallon of milk costs? Have you seen how much a carton of eggs costs? Compare it to what it was 5 years ago, right? Just go 5 years back. Shit, go 3 years back. Go pre-COVID, right? Unfortunately, we are in a state in this country where things are overpriced. And at the same time, you have to understand you are going to have to dedicate some finances in order to help your kid achieve athletic prowess. I saw a YouTuber I check out every now and then. He talked about this. He said, basketball isn't a Trent baby sport anymore, meaning you grew up in the trenches. It was a hard struggle. And from that struggle, you rose through the ashes to become something great and create get generational wealth that could change the trajectory for your family for the rest of their lives. Those guys are now the elitists. They were the trench guys. They are the elitists. So now they give their kids all the advantage, and their kids, like a Jamal Crawford son, Isaiah Thomas son, Carmelo Anthony son, the Boozer twins, Matt Barnes' twins. Like, nothing wrong with what these men are doing. I think it's actually fucking great what they're doing. But understand now, okay, it's not a Trent baby sport anymore. So if you're not willing to put any money into this, if you just want to say, no, just go out there and play in the streets and figure it out, and, somehow, some way it'll come your way, good luck. That's all I can tell you. Good luck. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of is what it is. AAU in 2024, trainers are now coaches all the time. They use their training to poach kids, to try to entice kids to leave. I've been blessed enough and lucky enough I found a balance between my ability to be a trainer and a coach, but I've been doing that for, 15 plus years. Some of these guys are training in order to recruit kids and then creating the AAU portion of it to try to retain the kids and ultimately keep their finances backed. And at the same time, I am very tired of kids and parents at the youth level, and this is another thing that pisses me off in AAU in 2024, is your kid is 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13, 14, whatever. They're like super high-level kid. Every parent thinks if their kid is really good, it should be free. I want to know why. If anybody, leave comments under this, right? Like, leave a comment under this, explain to me why your kid should be free just because they're good at basketball. Like, what? So because they're good, they are somehow more of a human being than the person next to them. Like, you could say their basketball value's different, right? Like, if, again, it's the same logic in terms of like doing a movie, right? One movie star is not going to get paid the same as the other movie star because it's called star power. That movie star is going to draw in more revenue, so therefore they get paid more money, no doubt. You could say there's different basketball value, right? The 6'6" center in sixth grade is going to have more value than, let's say, the backup, 4'9" point guard, no doubt. But why does that automatically mean that person should be free and the other person has to pay full price? To me, both should have to pay full price. unless there's obviously life circumstances and things like that, which does happen because, again, we are living in a day and age where inflation's crazy, price of things are crazy, so it does make things more difficult. Also in 2024, referees it's rough. A lot of high-level referees are staying away from AAU. You have the referees union, which is striking. I saw some in front of Open Gym Premier. They're striking and feeling like they're not getting paid enough, not a livable wage. I'm inclined to agree overall with that, but like I said, the problem is where does the money come from? Well, the money will come from raising the prices for us, but the basketball community is complaining about the price, right? And the most of the people that don't complain about the price are the elitists, right? LeBron James is not complaining about the fees he has to pay for Bryce. He's a billionaire. You know, if Compton Magic or whoever he's playing for, whatever YBL team he's playing for, let's say he plays randomly for Compton Magic says, oh, the fee is $2,000. No, I don't think Bron is complaining. That's like $2 to him. It's more probably like 50 cents, okay? But $2,000 to the lower middle class or poverty-stricken class, that's everything. You have to figure it out. My advice, do fundraising. Figure out ways to generate revenue. Have your kid get involved some way, shape, or form. We do a lot of things here at YBA. We have snack bars. We try to do fundraisers, online fundraisers, physical fundraisers, car washes, things like that. Do old school stuff like that back in the day. You have to figure it out. No one's going to come and just cut you a check. Right? Again, now, if your kid is the exception to the rule, they're the 6'10", 8th grader who, you know, D1s are looking at right now, and they want them playing on a national team. Well, congratulations. You are the exception to the rule. You broke the algorithm. You are so talented, so good that Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, whoever is willing to invest and spend all their money on you. But I'm talking to the majority of you guys. For you guys who are listening, for the people who are checking this out, I'm talking to the majority. You guys have to figure it out. And I try through this show to give you guys answers and tangible tips, not just talk at you, not to just say, oh, it's fucked up and that's just what it is. No, I'm giving you the answer. You have to fundraise. And how do you fundraise? Pick one. There's a bunch of them out there. There's Vertical Raise. Go check them out, right? There's people that do shoot-a-thons. There's candy companies. There's all kind of ways. There's restaurants will usually have days where you can, if they use a code or a coupon, that money goes towards your AAU club. You have to be very creative on how you're going to figure out how to make money for yourself. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's doable. And you have to be willing to put in the work. And parents have to be willing to participate. The last thing I'll bring up in AAU in 2024 is violence. Violence in AAU basketball is for sure at an all-time high. It's all over the place. It's not exclusive to one area. It's not exclusive to one demographic, but this is the reality of it. The majority of basketball is black. It's African-American young black boys, African-American men. And unfortunately, a lot of these young boys are making bad decisions that can compromise them from youth to adulthood. And that's the different day and age we live in. The mistakes we made back then, there was no cameras recording that dumb shit. Now everything's recorded. Now everything is seen. If you make that mistake, it can affect you for a very long time. So my advice to a lot of these kids and parents, and the reality is, if this is me speaking to black people and black culture, you can like what I'm saying. You can scrutinize me for it. You could talk shit in the comments, probably for the 2.3 women that watch this damn show or my YouTube or listen to my podcast. You single moms got to get the fuck out the way. Like this is just the statistics. This is just what it is. 70% of the black community is raised by single women, and young black boys are being raised by single women. What I'm saying is, because of the emotional indoctrination you have kind of put in your young male child, he might lack emotional control and stability in situations that are adverse, which unfortunately can result in bad decisions. The problem with young men, when they have no emotional control, they make impulsive choices that usually manifest into violence or physicality, meaning fighting, choking referees out, swinging, fighting parents, fighting coaches, and unfortunately the families get involved. And then after the families get involved, it gets bigger, it gets worse. There's story after story of shootings and things like that. I've done that on previous episodes. Like, our young black men have got to be led and have guidance. But my suggestion for a lot of the mothers out there raising these young black men, let them be coached, let them be pushed, let them be uncomfortable, let them cry, let them go through it, because generally speaking, most of their coaches are going to be black men. Doesn't mean the coach is now all of a sudden going to be their father. That's bullshit. That's not going to happen, right? But he can be a male figure that can help him to understand and navigate how to be a man, how to grow up in a man's environment. I know that's not the societal norm today, right? We want to kind of try to, feminize everything and talk about patriarchy and all this bullshit. Sports is the arena where I think is a lot of life lessons, and you got to allow those lessons to be taught. You can't shield your kids from the world forever, right? So let them go through the motions, let them go through the pain. And what will happen is, the more these young men learn self-control, there'll be less violence in the sport and less people pointing the finger saying, hey, AAU basketball, their sport is all about, that dumb shit, all that dumb ignorant shit. I know as a community we can do better. I know as a basketball community we can do better. We can teach better, and we can hold each other accountable to that degree. Just keep striving to do the best. Keep pushing to move forward, right? I love how Austin Rivers was talking about. He was saying, everybody has a trainer now. Everybody has a trainer, but they forget you still got to put in work on your own. That's what I'm saying. We've moved so far on certain things when it comes to AAU in 2024. Like, having trainers in abundance was not a thing when I was young. There's trainers everywhere now, which is great. That's not a bad thing. For one, this is a capitalist market. It gives more entrepreneurship, and I believe in entrepreneurship is the way of independence for everybody in some way, shape, or form. It gives more opportunity for competitive markets. Competitive markets breed better product. There's a reason why Android and Apple always have to keep one-upping each other because it's the competition. If you're the monopoly, that means you can settle for minimum, right? When you have relative competition always pushing you to be better, to have to be better at your craft, to have to study, you have to know what's going on in order to retain your customer base. The people who benefit the most are the customer, right? So, the problem is, because there's so many trainers, so many gyms, so many coaches, we're losing the old school stuff where, you got to go to the gym yourself and put in work. You have to know yourself better than your trainer knows you. You have to learn how to motivate yourself without needing that guy in your ear saying, come on, hustle, hustle, hustle. You got to be able to figure that shit out, right? So AAU in 2024 is in a very interesting spot. I know I spoke on a lot of layers of it. My best advice to you, my number one advice to anybody listening, players, parents, coaches, directors, shit, even people who don't like me, I don't give a fuck. This is what I would say to you. Use critical thinking. Use discernment. If you find somewhere that is getting the best out of your child, or you as a player or find somewhere that's getting the best out of you and fulfilling everything that needs to be fulfilled, they're marketing you. They're putting you in high-level tournaments. They're putting in positions to challenge you. You are still learning and upgrading your game and ability as a player through practice. Stay where the fuck you're at. If you evolve to such a point where the EYBL is calling, 3SSB is calling, UAA is calling, then have that conversation with your home coach. But don't just leave just because you get a little minor bit of success. You'll find that now you're just a commodity. You're just a piece. You're a cog in a wheel. You're a cog in a machine. You as a person are not valued. And these AAU, high-level AAU guys, they're not going to say that shit to you. I keep it real with y'all. I'm the quote-unquote AAU guy. I'm going to keep shit real with you. But I get it from their side of it, too. It's a business. Basketball is a business. Youth basketball is a business. Youth sports is a business. I think it's a $4 billion or $40 billion a year machine. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. Love that. That's the state we live in. So, but if you still have values, if you still care, if you still want to get the best out of the kids that you teach, if you still have a heart for the game as a coach and a director, if you players still have some resemblance of loyalty, look around you. If you're getting the most out of what you want, stick with it, right? Well, with that being said, I know I said a lot. I know I did a lot. And hopefully I gave you a good rundown of what to expect in AAU for 2024. Again, shout out to you if you made it all the way to the end of the episode. You're a real one. I appreciate you. If you can consider it, hit that like and subscribe. Sign up for my Patreon. It helps support this podcast. It helps support me. It's all crowdfunded, right? It's funded by me and those who are willing to donate and push and help out. It's really appreciated. Again, take the information for free. That's what I'm here to do. Do the HBO special, help a brother out. I hope everybody is living great, living safe, enjoying your basketball journey. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.